Good morning, good evening, and good night. I am Brian Fort, your host, and I'm thrilled to be joined by another dynamic father who we have invited to specifically share his unique stories and perspectives with us. As you know, we want to collect 100,000 stories, and we are happy to have today's guest join us along this journey to our goal. So, how does it work? Well, each episode, we explore different aspects of fatherhood. From the joys and rewards to the struggles and sacrifices, we have honest conversations about how our relationships with our fathers or sons have shaped us, challenged us, and transformed us. Then we pick a few random questions from our fathers and sons question jar to take us even deeper. So, whether you're a father or a son, or simply someone who wants to learn more about the transformative power of fatherhood, we invite you to join us on this journey of discovery and connection. Thank you for tuning in to Fathers and Sons Speak. Let's get started. So, first, I want to introduce you, or I'm going to have him introduce himself to our next guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Marion, aka Lil Wit. I'm a God-fearing man, the owner of Solid Juices. So much to define, but I'm me. I'm a man. I'm vegan, good friend, a good brother, father first.
Yeah, he ain't lying. We recently just connected about maybe a little bit over, maybe almost a month ago now. We just bonded over fitness, over health, over eating, over diet, and I can vouch for what he said. He's definitely a good brother, definitely God fearing, and I'm definitely sure he's got some stories to share. All right. So first things first, tell us about the relationship with your father.
Um, it's hard to put in words, but to speak from the mature side, um, it was everything. And I come from embracing the bad. So my father wasn't there. He was probably there for the first 3, 4 years of my life, and got into it with my mom. And the last words he told me before he left the house, he told me, "You're the man now." And I was the youngest son at that time, and it played a role. But he came back in when my mom passed, and I was the man of the house. I guess the word got to him that his kids were living without somebody, and I had my older brothers in the house. Anyway, he came home, and I was more so like the father. So it was more like, you're gonna befriend us before you come in and start barking orders. And our relationship kind of, that's how it lasted. It was more of a alpha male versus alpha male the whole time. He's seen that in me. He fed me uh, the most of him out of all the children. I'm a walking, uh, um, I guess you could say, uh, a marketing thing for my father. I'm basically his clone. Everything he did, just in a better way. Um, it was shaky. I had guns pulled on me. Hating so many times, and I didn't get it until later to know that I was the successor, and he wasn't understanding of that. Maybe he wanted another son, his junior. But we butted heads, but it was the best for me. Nipsey said something before he passed that meant everything. He said, it's good to have, great enemies. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to call him an enemy, but he was under a spell, not knowing his spiritual walk. So he's under a fight, and it was a spiritual battle. He taught me a lot. That man is the reason I went vegan. He was a culinary arts teacher. I learned a lot from that man. Very intelligent book reader, but he was one of the darkest men in the street. A lot of people know him as Big Wit, a cold gangster in the street, from 818, the Valley. Um, but I loved him, man. That was my best friend. We did everything together. I learned how to do construction through that man, boxing, cooking, everything. Um, but also it was like a brother. We were like, I guess that I was that mature where we butted heads like brothers. I was so much like him. So it got bad at times, but it was from, I guess the passion that we both had for each other, the love we both shared for each other, and the will power we wanted for each other. Um, and it made me who I am. I have thick skin because of that. I can get through a lot. I'm a father of six, and it made me the father that I am. I became a better father. So not to get on that or mess up any other questions you have, it was shaky, but from the mature side, it was the best lesson. It was the best relationship. I mean, I wanted what everybody else had, the father that lived in the home, was there all the time. I didn't have that. My journey is what it is, and I'm about the journey. I embrace the journey. So long story short, started off ugly, and if anybody was in an immature state, if they were childish, selfish, they would overlook the fact that the father was every reason that they're there, the things that they learn. Like today, I'm doing a paint job, and I had to thank God and thank my father. I'm like, I'm doing this by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting paid by myself. I'm my own boss. Pops taught me this. You know what I'm saying? So there's things I always look at the good things. So from that standpoint, always on a positive note, we had in my eyes, I loved him. It was good learning. It was a bad relationship because he didn't understand that he didn't know it all, and vice versa. That we both had to be open. We both had to be vulnerable. We both had to be followers first to teach each other how. First, you can't be a leader without being a follower. So that's where it was um, me being, taking a different route, being a disruptor. I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. Learn how to do it this way. Um, there was a lot of things that he didn't know, and he was supposed to learn fatherhood through me and a lot of the hardships. But it was more blame on me. Like I was supposed to know certain things that, was supposed to be taught. So not putting him down, thank God for him, but he didn't understand how to be accountable and saying, hey, I'm also learning as a father, as a man. If we're speaking man to man, yeah, I could say that. But from father to son, we're both in the learning stage. Even if, he had a son before me. I'm the youngest, but he didn't have that relationship with him, didn't see him. So long story short, it was good in my eyes. I love that man for everything I am. Everybody still calls me Little Whit. My name is not Whitney. My name is Marion. My twin's name is Whitney, but everybody addresses me as Little Whit. My father, who was Big Whit, I am a walking testament of that man. So I love him, but it was kind of shaky. I can't hear you.
I'm about to hit the mute button. I want to say it again because you didn't hear me. It's good to hear your honesty and your openness about and your maturity level when it comes to talking about things that you might have missed or lacked, but you still find a way to be positive. Like but those things help me be where I am today, and that's why I mess with you like I do. You're always open and you're always giving an honest response. I think that's why people gravitate towards your energy.
Indeed. Indeed.
Let's go a little bit deeper. How has your relationship with your father or your sons affected your life overall? We'll speak to either one or both if you want.
I'll speak on regards as being a son to my father. It saved my life. My relationship with him, not having him there, made me the best father that I am today.
Elaborate on that. Yeah, definitely elaborate on that part.
So what I say is, most people, they say, you know what, I want to be like my dad. And growing up, I used to say that until I reached a certain point, and I said I want to be better than. In other words, I'm going to take what he did good, but the things that he did wrong, I'm going to. It's going to be an end of that era. So in that sense, I want to be a better father. I want it to be better than the example, only because I grew up as in a family of competition. So I got better by playing brothers that were 10 years older, basketball, football. So that was my competition, was seeing my father, who everybody knew he did everything. And it was like, I wanted to be better than. And he was a good father in a sense. He did everything the best way he could. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame him. But in my eyes, as a son, learning what hurt me and him not being there, I said, you know what? I don't care what it is. I'm going to be there for my kids. You know what? I don't care what it is. I'm going to do this and this and this. Learning that made me better. It saved my life.
That's what's up.
It's
That's a good way to look at that. That's really, really, really good information. I'm sure someone's going to feel that and be like, you know what? That's what I want to do, right? I want to be everything that I was missing. And I know some people like to spoil their kids because they want to give them the things that they weren't given
right
as a kid. But it seems like you're turning that around. Like I was given, or I didn't get.
right.
Therefore, I'm going to give as a part of me, so my children don't feel the way I felt.
Right.
That's a man move right there. That's a man's move.
I had to kind of stop my father on it because he seen me in a down state, and I embrace my emotions. It's not down to anybody else defining wise. Yes, it is, but I'm not an empath, but I feel. So if a situation happens and it bothers me, I'm gonna sit in that emotion until I feel it. I want to embrace it. I want to digest it. I want to get everything out of that emotion. Why is it happening? What's going on? Type thing. So anyway, I wasn't seeing my kids for a while now. I was kind of upset that I couldn't provide on a certain day. And it was something small. It's not food or clothes. That was good, but just something I wanted to do, and I didn't really get to keep my word. And my father was telling me, you know what? Don't beat yourself up, because you're doing the best you can. He said you're there. You're there, and that's all that counts. And in my head, I wanted to say, tell him, I know parents that are there, but they're dead, just like my mom. In other words, they're there, but there's no teaching, there's no speaking. But I also want to tell him that's how you see it, because that's how you were as a father, and I wanted to be a better father. So I hear you, pops, but no, I'm aiming to. There's a goal. I'm aiming to be a better father. So allow me to feel hurt, because if I feel hurt, then I'm going to do something so I don't feel this way again. I'm going to be a better father. I'm going to do something that makes sure that this situation don't happen again. So in that sense, it's good to recognize, what you don't have and why. And I embraced it. I know who I am now. I know why it had to be hard on me. If it was easy, I would be layman's term. I wouldn't have anything great. I believe God has something great for me, my friends, my kids, my offspring. And you can't be great if you just go through basic. You have to go. If you go through the gym, you're not going to get bigger playing with 5 pounds every day, doing the same workout. You're going to have to go through some struggles. You're going to have to go through some weights. It's going to get hard. And in that sense, you have to embrace that. And when you do, your eyes are open to a lot of things that you used to blame and point fingers at. I used to blame my father. You know what I'm saying? I used to blame friends. I used to blame ex-women and so forth. And I had to go back to them and say, thank you. Because you played your role, right? You played your role, and it made me everything that I am today. I had to be hurt in a certain way. I had to be, so long story short, yeah. Yeah.
I hope y'all, whoever's watching this, man, or listening to this, y'all need to rewind that whole answer and rewind it a couple of times to get all the jewels that were dropped in that, because that was a lot of mature talk, And I think a lot of people want to see us as Black men, as fathers, as kind of like not intellectual enough to be that deep and understand what's going on with us, or want to get to know what's going on with our emotions and why we're feeling them and how we deal with them, how we should deal with them. And I think you've got the cheat code on that too. I think you got a book of cheat codes that you've used to survive this particular life. Let's go. Let me see if you got a story. Share any memorable or transformative experiences you've had as a father or as a son.
Okay, I'll explain one as a son and a father.
Okay.
There's very many I can say, but one right now, I'm going to say the last one as a son. Me and my father was butting heads, but he loved me and believed in me so much. When he lost his mind, out of all his kids, I had way more on my plate. He came to live with me, and I took care of him while I was trying struggle to try to get my daughter out of the system. She was taken from her mom. She was breathing tube, feeding tube, heart machine, everything you think of to get her. So I take my father in. Me and him was butting heads, but anyway, I'm overweight. He has type 2 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis. He's losing his mind, and it scared me. I seen this man get shot, show no emotion, and then he gets diabetes and all this other stuff, and he's crying. I'm like, damn, that's a pain I don't want. I got tested, found out I had diabetes. He saved my life. I'm vegan to this day, and when he died, I didn't want him to die in vain. So he was copying me. I was smoking weed, I was drinking, and he would copy me. And I said, okay, let me use reverse psychology. So I said, let me start. If he's copying me, let me put this down and start eating the right way. I started studying what the reason why his diseases were. And I said, okay, let me just implement some things. So I went cold turkey, studied, learned vegan. I am who I am to this day. I'm studying I have a juice bar because of that. He opened up that for me. Likewise, as far as my daughter, I'm back training. That was one of the most conversion moments for me, to see my father in his vulnerable state, the most hardest man, show me pain, humbleness, humility, meekness, pain, crying, every emotion, when most men tell you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a sin, you're not supposed to cry, all this stuff. He showed me all that purity, and it saved me. It's like, wow. I'm like, okay, this is real. So I'm like, okay, I don't want that. And it hurt me. It hurt me bad because it was my best friend. But I got to learn, from it in a sense. And he was like that the whole time. And that's why from this death part, some people are like, man, I struggled watching my father die, and it was this and this. When my family called me asking what's going on, I'm like, I'm in good spirits. I got to watch that man struggle, and I learned from him. You guys might be guilty conscious because you weren't around, you didn't feel, you didn't learn anything. But anyway, that was the most biggest thing to me. It saved my life in a time where I couldn't be butting heads. This man was pulling guns on me, calling the police at this time. He forgot about it. He lost his mind. He had a stroke. And I pulled goodness out of it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was a conversion for me. And then my daughter, my son's mother, we broke up, and she wanted to get my attention. I was in the street, so she went to try to go rob Macy's with my aunt. I don't want it to sound like I'm just in the streets and so engulfed by this stuff, but I came up around I made some bad decisions. Let's say that.
You made it out of that. You're not the same dude. So.
But we're human, man, and I embrace everything. But anyway, my son's mother, went to rob Macy's, and she tried to make my son take off some shoes I bought him, some Jordans. He wouldn't. She lashed him with her belt. Security guards came. Altercation happened. She ended up pulling a weapon, robbing Macy's. Her brother went big. They took my son and put him in the system. And I had to stop everything. Went cold turkey. Had to go back to training, which I train now. I started training kids and athletes. He became with me. I became a full-time father, and it made me put self to the side. I started having a heart. Before that, my mom had died. I was in the streets. I didn't have nobody, so my heart grew hard. He made me love again, to the point where it wasn't about me no more. It was bigger than me. And it was immediately, I felt, the empathy, like I don't want him to go through what I went through, the pain that I felt. So I'm going to try my best to be there. That moment made me everything I am. I wouldn't be able to deal with the situation I'm going through with my youngest daughter, with her going through the system. That moment made me everything. I would be putting myself, what I'm going through right now, I would try to satisfy me, right? I can get away from this pressure that I'm under. So everybody like to drug or whatever to get away and make this figurative world up so they can get away from pressure and stuff like that. Because I had to go through that, I put self to the side. So it's not even a urge. It's not even a temptation to be like, you know what? Think about me. I'm thinking about everybody else now. So that helps me to be like, I go to the gym. I have a father type mentality. I want to help people. I want to share, you know what I'm saying? So that saved my life. It made me put self to the side and stop thinking about me. I was probably narcissistic when I was younger. It was all me. I wanted you to know this story. I'm in this. I went through this and this. It came to the point where it wasn't about me no more. I started knowing what God was doing. I wasn't smart as I am now. I wasn't mature enough to receive it. I can speak on it now, but I can say it was an immediate change, and I can really reach back and remember that's what me became a coach, a trainer, everything I am to this day because of that moment. So those were big conversions for me. They probably were big transitions for my father and my son as well. And I'm telling, those are the smallest things that I made big. If I tell you, we have to have 10 more episodes for you to kind of understand. There are bigger situations that you'd be like, wow. But me, my maturity, I'm able to abstract certain things from certain things, and certain things that some people be like, man, that was the worst time in my life where this happened. I was able to get something good out of it, and recognize it. It changed me. I was vulnerable. It made me vulnerable. It made me humble. I am who I am today from both of those situations.
If anybody is watching this, I mean, as what Marion is carrying on telling you these stories, there's a smile on his face. This is telling you this is genuine emotion, genuine feelings of overcoming. Like I'm watching him on screen and I'm seeing him smile, telling me about his girl tried to rob Macy's to get his attention. He's got a daughter that's, I mean, you guys are seeing it. Maybe if you're watching, he's still full of light. You know what I'm saying? Every father can still be like that. There's just more in you, you know what I'm saying, than the things that you're going through. And this is a special episode in my eyes to get around and chop it up with you on this deep level. I'm meant to see that you still have this light about you, even though you talk about dark ass times.
Right.
You talk about real shit going down.
Well, like I said earlier, not to cut you off, sir, but we were in the gym earlier, and we brought up this life of measuring stick. So you don't know how good, bad is if you never had bad, if it was all good. You never know how good is if it was all bad. You have to have a measuring stick. So I understand right now that I'm blessed, and everything I went through, I can smile about it because I lived through the dark, and I can see the dark is only a mindset. I can be in the shack, I can be in the mud and be happy as I don't know what if my mind is right? It's only dark when I say, so it sounds dark, right? So anybody's listening, it's dark, but I'm pulling the best out of it because I came from that. I know it's dark, and I'm like, man, I'm defying odds right here.
Yeah.
Right?
You're definitely not supposed to be alive right now, right?
I'm supposed to be a depiction and be the exact what's going on. I should be the example of my environment, what I'm going. But man,
Well, that's a testament to your faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And into your walk. You know what I mean? To the fact that you have a goal, a light. You know what I'm saying? And you're able to take the negative, like, no, it's not all bad. I'm learning from that. That will make it good. Bro, we got to stay linked up. I'm definitely going to have you back on here for more topics of that nature.
Yeah.
We're winding it down, though. Let me get to what do you think is the most important aspect of being a father?
I thought about this today for some reason. I don't even know why you asked the question, because it came up earlier. The biggest thing, and I said it earlier about my father, is being not soft parenting, but being soft enough to know that you got to hold yourself accountable and know that you're learning just like the child. So when something happens, that's a mirror of what you're lacking or what you're short of. So instead of getting mad at the child, okay, this is when you hone in, find out what's going on, talk to the child, and both of you guys grow, instead of trying to get mad at the child for thinking they're supposed to know. No, first of all, be soft enough to be able to say, hold on, man, wait, they're just a child. This is my chance to learn how to be a parent. This is my parent moment. Let me be accountable instead of be angry and frustrated. Because I'm speaking because I was that parent. I was angry and frustrated. When I had to start taking the paradigm shift of life, yeah, you gotta be accountable. You gotta be accountable, but to be accountable, you gotta be humble enough, soft enough to receive that. You first gotta be a follower. And if you want the child to be a follower and you want to be the leader, it has to be reciprocated. You have to show that you're a follower too. I can follow and say, hey, you know what? Daddy made a mistake. I didn't know. I didn't know either. Oh, I can't just blame it on you. Daddy's not perfect. So so the biggest thing is accountability. And I want to marry it as three parts into one: accountability, being humble enough and open, and to be a follower. Learn how to be a follower so you can lead.
My God, that is beautiful. That's like a soundbite. Trust me, we're about to use that one. What advice would you give fathers or sons looking to improve their relationships with each other?
Learn how to get away from the lies that we were told as men, that the manly man is this big strong man that doesn't cry. He's beastie. The real man is someone that can embrace every emotion, know that he's still a man if he cries, a man that can step off his throne and give respect and honor to another man or king. So the biggest thing, for father, or growing in that sense is putting out the lies, right? And starting over, being an open canvas of saying, you know what, I'm a man if I cry. I'm a man if I just be real with myself and allow life to happen. When you do that, then you can be everything in every aspect. You could be a better father, better parent, a better brother. When you aim at being a better man, and a better man is going to say, you know what? I love mom, I love dad, but I gotta live for me. I'm human, right? So I gotta throw out everything and I gotta start fresh. I gotta be this open canvas. And now I gotta receive everything that comes to me. Bad, good. I gotta cry about it. I gotta laugh about it. I gotta be angry. I can't just always, every time a feeling comes, like everybody said, oh, you know what? Push it out. Be happy. It's positive. It's only lasts short. No. Sit in those emotions. Be real with yourself. Embrace them. Digest life so you know how to handle it when it comes. Put out all the philosophies. Learn how to listen to God. Learn how to listen to your body. Learn how to listen to self. Stop running from problems. Stop running from whatever. Sit in it. Feel it. Embrace it. And be you.
And be you. I mean, we only got 30 minutes. We got about 2 minutes left. You've answered these questions like a man's man would, like the ones I don't want to say like the old school ones, right? The ones that are now considered toxic, right? You got to be hard, you got to be this, that, and the third. I mean, you came with some maturity, and you said sit with. One thing away, you sit with those emotions. You said sit with those, man. Learn about those. Learn about yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that is huge. And I don't do that enough. I don't do that enough.
And I'm not going to say I'm perfect at it. I'm speaking from a man that's in transition. So it hasn't been always something that I practice. I say that because I was a man that when my mom died, I have a best friend. I went to him and I told him, my mom passed, and I had a smile on my face. And he didn't believe me, only because I was still full of this big lie that men aren't supposed to cry, right? You know what I'm saying? So it took a while. I would go beat up people for no reason. I was hurting people. Me and my cousin, his dad died, and my uncle, Eddie Quinn, had passed. And we would just go hurt people for no reason because we didn't know how to sit with our feelings. We would just try to take it. Or what we would go do is go get some women and have sex and take it out on the women. Our relationships didn't work. Go buy clothes to make it look good. We'd hide all our scars and never really sat with our emotions. So I sent something to you on the DM about how most men are locked up feminine ways. They're dangerous. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to sit their emotions. They don't know how to handle them, right? And you don't know how to handle them. How do you react? You react to the different philosophies. Oh, you gotta go nut up. You gotta trip. You gotta act impulsive. No.
Yeah, you gotta sit down. What the guy say? You gotta sit down, calm down, think it through, think about what you're gonna do next.
Yeah,
because you can do something stupid based on emotions,
and
emotions are gone, and that situation is still done.
Sit with your emotions. The best thing I could say is sit with your emotions. Embrace how you feel. Don't immediately throw it off. Some people feel, I'm in the gym and I got a lot of friends there. A lot of people didn't like to see. I wasn't down, but it was just more like I was super focused. So people knew something was going on. So they'd be like, you know what, it's all good. Push to the side, da 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 da. And I didn't want to put nobody's down. I knew they were concerned, but in my head, I'm like, F you. This is my moment. There's got something is speaking to me right now, and it's speaking to me through this emotion. I have to sit with this. There's something that I got to get out of this, right? So I have to sit with it. I'm not gonna allow you to let me to push it off, because if I do, I'm living how you guys would like me to. You guys have never embraced this, so let me embrace this. This is my first time doing it, and then I'll come back and say, hey, you know what? I did try what you said and it worked. If not, I won't say anything. I won't say. But at the end of the day, um, don't force emotions off. When they come, those light bulbs start going off, question marks start going off. Why? What did I do? What seeds did I plant? What seeds that I did not plant? Is this just part of life? When life starts lifing, do I need to just stand my ground, or do I need to be proactive? How do you know what to do if you just act impulsively? You have to sit with it and think, calm down,
Yes.
and just throw off all the emotions. So then,
Yes.
right
You
here,
can think about what your next move is. Chess, not checkers.
right, and that's a way of meditating almost without meditating. You know what I'm saying? When you can control this, when you control this, say, you know what? I hear your emotions, I feel you, you are there, but right now, let me hone in. That's
That's the
that's I
simple
mean,
cheat code.
that's a cheat code. You know what I'm
That's how
saying?
you
There's
take
nothing.
control of those emotions.
Yes.
My man. Dude, you've hit us with a lot of good information, a lot of good perspectives. And I want to say personally, I want to say thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jumping on with me tonight and letting it be known that, a real man is in tune with his emotions, right? A real
Yes.
man will sit with those and figure out a plan to get better, even through the darkest times. But we're going to talk
Yes, sir.
more and more about this.
Yeah.
But before we go, let the people that are watching know what you are about. Because I know you said solid juices before. Let them know what that is, and let them know where they can find you.
All right. I am the owner of Solid Juices, inspired by my daughter who's on breathing tubes, feeding tubes, and my father who made me go vegan. It saved my life. So a lot when trying to educate people, sometimes you hurt them. Some people feel belittled. So the best thing that you can do is educate them without forcing them. So I have a page. Solid Juices. What it does is it has holistic. It's a holistic juice bar, teas, juices, salads, salad bowls, soups. In the store, it's going to be like a vegan playground almost. So there'll be fruits and veggies growing in the store. You can on the fruits and veggies, you'll have where it originated from, what health benefits come from it. So trying to help change the atmosphere in my environment, just have more healthy options for people to come, family oriented to where you can bring babies, whatever. It's going to be a juice bar, but it won't have no real alcohol in there. Just have the atmosphere and the vibe, just to bring the people together, think better, eat clean, love, and just share energy. So Solid Juices is more of like, letting people know solid is my trademark. Fruits are solid, but that's the best way to get alkaline or juices is raw fruits or juicing them.
I
Um,
agree.
so I'm just into educating people and helping. When I opened up my donut shop, I was opening up for my pockets. This juice bar, I'm in so deep right now. I haven't even seen no turnover yet. But I'm more into helping people, educate them, bring health to them, show them that it actually works. I'm vegan, and a lot of people in the thing they're like, "How are you gaining?" And I'm like, "I'm not even eating no meat. I'm not going heavy on no powders. It's just juicing, resting, and so
I'm gonna
solid
agree with that.
is a game.
I'm gonna agree with that, bro. I'm gonna agree with that. You are a testament, man. I saw the before pictures where you was all super huffed up, and then you say you was, you shrunk down and you went vegan. And for those that are watching, like being with, we work out hard together. So we hang out, and he's he's kind of shed some of that light on me. That's what we bonded over health, meals, and food. And I'm smart enough to know about fruits and vegetables and minerals. I don't eat that much though, like that. Still, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I started juicing my own juices, and I'm at the gym with my guy, and this man here lets nothing go to waste. Okay, this man
Exactly.
eats avocado and then boils the seed. And then what's the rest of the process?
So you boil the seed down until it turns kind of like maroonish. Take the seed out. You put that into a little mason jar. Throw a little chia seed in there, hemp seed, protein, avocado oil is fatty acids. You have omega threes in there, aminos. It's like a pre workout.
Yeah, yeah, solid juices, man. My man's got it all for you guys. So look him up on IG. Solid juices. Spell it out for them, just for those.
So on IG, my bad, at solid SOLID. Juices is spelled JOOCES.
There you go.
And then you can look me up online. If you go to that website, I mean to the IG, on the bio, there's the website. If you don't have IG, you just want to go on the website. It's actually thesolidjuices.wix.com. And you can
Got you.
online order from there. If you just want to ask questions, I'm educating people for free. I'm not challenging anybody to charge anything. If you want to support, you can buy anything on there. If you have any questions, feel free. I'm openly and readily available all the time. Just like giving my brother here, a podcast and interview. I'm open to share something that can help. I'm willing to help. So if you're not just trying to call or support, if you just have questions, if you just want to know, if you want to know what's going on, hey, I've seen the podcast and man, I want to know, how I can hone into that energy or whatever you want, you can reach out to Solid Juices, and I'll be that.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you to Mary and thank you to our guest today, man. Share this with someone or listen again because listening offers freedom and our stories are the treasures that keep on growing in value and never gets old. Now, remember, our goal is to collect 100,000 stories and use them to inspire understanding of fatherhood in the community. So if you have someone you would like for us to contact or interview, shoot us a message and we'll gladly reach out. We believe that by sharing our experiences, challenges, and triumphs, we can break down stereotypes and build stronger relationships between fathers and sons. So y'all can tune in every week for new episodes. I want to thank you for allowing me to be your host. We look forward to having the next story, the next dynamic brother here on Fathers and Sons Speak the podcast. And we're out.